You know, it's getting close now, right?
Yeah.
I said, no, I'm not going to do this, you know. And so, but the laser treatment came out. And he says, you know, Milton, he says, there's a possibility that we can actually regrow your hair. And so he actually suggested, you know, we see whether we can do this or not. And quite honestly, once they did, they said, well, you know, I believe we can do this. And sure enough, I mean, we didn't expect this kind of growth, quite honestly, within 90 days.
Right.
But the results have been astounding because even my youngest daughter says, Dad, your hair's growing back.
Yeah,
and she did not know I was doing the therapy. And she said, it's getting thicker.
Yeah.
I told her what I was doing. You know, she said, wow, this is fantastic.
Did it start to bother you when you started losing your hair?
Yeah, it did, because, you know, it's not necessarily vanity, just that, well, you know, it's the time of life. I said, wow, you know, Tom said I was going to be a client one day, you know. I said, oh, you know, but it was so gratifying to see that. I mean, I was looking every day, and I was saying, no, I'm trying to, you know, psych myself out. No, it's not really doing that.
It's not really getting thinner.
No, it's not really getting thicker, but sure it was. And once we, after the matter of fact, just a week ago, we actually verified, you know, with the additional pictures and such, the kind of growth and all the new growth that was occurring, because under magnification you can see actually new growth hair.
Right. How does that work, Tom?
We have a scope that we put on that shows that the little fine vellus hair that is growing now is developing into terminal hair, which means adult hair. And it's amazing to see what has happened in such a short period of time. But generally speaking, to be a candidate for laser, it's not going to work on someone like me who's had hair loss for decades.
Right.
But usually your hair loss has to be within 6 years. And then we still have something to work with, which is the fine fuzz called vellus hair. And we can develop that into more mature. Well, it's all based on photo stimulation. And this handheld one represents what that would be. You would just hold it in place, and every 5 seconds move it. Apply this 3 times a week. And what's happening is that the stimulation caused by the sensors in here are allowing some of the products to be broken away, the DHTs broken away from the cell, so that hair can regrow again.
Okay, I don't know who figured that out, but I'm glad they did.
Yeah, me too.
now, you have a whole different system, but first, tell me what started happening with you.
Well, I've been experiencing hair loss for about 9 years now. It's hereditary amongst the women in my family. And so I started experiencing it probably my freshman year of college.
Wow.
And so, you know, as a young woman, having hair loss, having to wear wigs and weaves.
And I bet people would ask you, like, are you going through chemo? What's going on? Are you sick?
Right. No, it's hereditary. And I'm the only one in my generation that's suffering from it. And I went through dermatologists, the steroid shots in my scalp, which were very painful. I went through wearing the wigs. I went through all of that. And so my mom referred me to Tom, and she's been going to him for over 15 years.
Yeah.
And so when I went to Tom, it changed my life.
Well, I'm looking at your hair right now, or what I think is your hair right now. It is if you bought it, right?
That's
it's yours
right.
if you bought it. That's the way it goes. but it looks absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, Tom, what's going on here?
What we've done here is develop something that looks like a contact lens. It's an open membrane, weighs about 1/8 of an ounce. Taken real hair and injected it 1 hair at a time, and then with a medical polymer, attach it to the top so it stays in place. And Robin can treat it much the same as her own existing hair.
Yeah, I can't. Okay, now can you? I want to get a close up over here. Can you get a close up? Yeah, let's get a close up. And like, I can't tell where. Do you have some of your hair there?
I have a hair. I still have my hairline.
You have a hair?
Yeah, I have a hair. I still have my hairline, and I'm able to. I can pull it back in a ponytail if I want to. It's really natural.
Shake it for me. Yeah. That looks great.
Thank you.
Did you hold out any great hope when you first went in to see Tom? Did you think it was going to happen, or were you kind of skeptical because you had tried so many other things before?
I tried so many other things, and I think when I went in the first time, and my hairstylist, Nicole, she measured my head. I mean, I started crying. That's when I realized that this is something that I have to deal with. I was depressed for a long time. But the day I went in and I got it, I got it done, Nicole did it for me. After she finished curling it and cutting it, I mean, it was just like a burden was instantly lifted off of my shoulders.
Yeah.
You know, I was happy again. I felt feminine, like a woman again, and I wasn't depressed anymore about it. And I don't have any shame telling. You know, the fact that I'm here today on television just lets me know that I don't have any shame of sharing it anymore.
Because it looks good.
It looks good.
And that's when I cry.
Yeah.
I cry when they're done. They cry first, and then I cry when they're done, because I'm so happy to see the life change.
Now, how is this different than having a wig on?
Very different than having a wig on. I wore wigs for months. They're very hot. They're not secure. And they look like wigs. They don't look natural.
Right.
And you're spending a lot of money. You can't keep them very long. You can't swim in them. You can't do the things that you can do with this hair.
Yeah. Because I remember I wore a wig for a while because my hair broke off because of thyroid issues, and we'll talk about some of the other issues that cause hair to thin as well. But I had gone to one of those like places that have the massage chair when you're getting your pedicure, and so I was laying back there, and it was massaging, it was going to town. Right, I fell asleep because it was feeling so good. What I didn't know is that when it was doing that little shiatsu, whatever that stuff is called, when those little things start moving, it was moving my wig up, and it came over, and my bangs were now on my chin. All right, and the lady who was doing my feet was like. And I'm like, so I opened my eyes and it was still dark, and I was like, oh, whoops. I kind of pulled it back. But that was like one of those points where I went, okay, enough already. I'm going to wear my hair and it's natural, and that's it. Right. But so much better. You have so many different other ways of attaching hair as well. Your daughter is in the audience, and she has what is called Great Lengths. That's what's actually in my hair right now. And so what is Great Lengths?
Hair is all made of protein. So what Great Lengths is to take human hair and then dip it in protein, so the end becomes like a little bit of a filler, and then we extend her hair by putting the protein up to it with a heated instrument and elongating her hair. So it's all real hair, protein attached to protein.
Yeah, can you show us, dig out from that hair one of those attachments so we can get a close-up look at that? Because it's really hard to see. Yeah. And so, hard to tell, but what's happened is that it's kind of fused in a way or melted onto the hair, but very easy to get out if you want to change it.
And same color, texture, and whatever length she chooses.
All right, shake it for me. That's what I'm talking about. All right, well, thank you all very much for sharing your stories with us. Certainly. All right, remember, we'll see Jay go from bald to a head of hair later on in the show. But up next, do you have curly hair and want to go straight? Is your hair straight and you like some curl? You can do it all without chemicals. We'll show you how to chi it, and we'll show you hair color without peroxide.